Tuscany. The name alone populates your mind with pictures of luscious green rolling hills, world-class vineyards, cypress-lined driveways, and medieval towns clinging to nearly every hill. Tuscany, the region of the Renaissance, famous as the birthplace of illustrious names such as Michelangelo and Da Vinci and the Renaissance movement itself. When most people imagine Tuscany, they think of the capital, Florence. Florence is a magnificent city with rich history. But on this journey in search of La Dolce Vita, I wanted to avoid the hustle and bustle of a big city, like my last trip to Italy when I only traveled to Rome and Milan. On this journey, I was being called to rural Tuscany, to the bubbling natural hot springs, world-class vineyards, and getting lost in the places in between. Welcome to Boundaries Unlimited. Our first stop in Tuscany is 35 miles south of Florence, an architectural time warp back to medieval Italy, Siena. Back in the 1300s, Siena was one of Europe's largest cities and major military force, but weakened by a disastrous plague and conquered by her Florentine rivals. Siena became a backwater for 6 centuries. Wow. Really walking around Siena is like we hopped into a time machine and we went back to medieval or Renaissance times. Siena's loss became our sightseeing gain because of its political and economic irrelevance. It preserved its Gothic era identity, most notably its central Piazza del Campo.
Take a picture.
Wow. Siena's Duomo is probably one of the most impressive churches I've ever seen in my life. After all the countries I've traveled, just the Gothic architecture. Look at the stripes lining the cathedral on each sides of it. Wow. It's breathtaking. Let's go look inside. Siena's Duomo was built between 1215 and 1263. The 14th century was a time of great wealth and power for Siena, and plans were made to expand the cathedral into a great church that would dwarf even St. Peter's in Rome. Expansion got underway in 1339 with construction on an addition of the Duomo, but in 1348, the Black Death swept through the city and killed 4/5 of Siena's population. The giant cathedral was never completed, and the half-finished walls of the Duomo Nuovo survive as a monument to Siena's ambition and one-time wealth. Nestled between the Piazza del Campo and the Duomo are intriguing streets lined with colorful flags and studded with rings for tethering horses. The flags represent the Palio, a wild bareback horse race held twice a year in Siena. So do you have any idea of what this is? Or what this is, why I brought you over here?
University.
No, so the significance, the reason why I took you over here is this is actually one of the starting scenes in Quantum of Solace, where James Bond, Daniel Craig, drives the Aston Martin DBS. Run underneath that arch. That's why I brought you here.
Fantastic. Can I eat now?
After exploring Siena, it's time to hop in the Lamborghini Speciale 500 to go explore the Chianti wine region. Still there. Now we are blessed with hail. After spending the first half of our day exploring Siena, we were parched. Conveniently enough, some of the world's best wine was only a stone's throw away, the Chianti region. We are currently driving the Chianti Wine Road, SR222. It is a historic road connecting Siena to Florence, and it's one of the best driving routes in Italy. This drive is amazing. If you're in Tuscany, get a car or a Vespa. You can also get a Vespa and drive this route. We are almost to Florence, and I thought it was going to take an hour. It probably has taken an hour, but I don't notice it. I don't want the drive to end. It's so beautiful. It's one of the things when you look up a place online and you see pictures of it, and it's like, that can't be real. Then you get out here, and it's identical. It's identical to what you see online, even better. The drone shots, the photos, the videos, it does not do this justice at all. So our next stop is going to be the oldest vineyard within the Chianti region. guess?
Oh, it's not a photo.
So we stopped at Ricasoli, 1141. They've been making wine since 1141. They're the oldest winery in Italy, second oldest in the world. They're on their 32nd generation of the Ricasoli family. Ricasoli. I can't roll my R's. Ricasoli family. And I think the wine is going to be pretty good, so let's try it out. We'll try it. That's damn good wine. I think we need to buy this big one. Is that big enough?
That'll do for tonight.
What about, is this the right wine glass for you? Maybe, look at the wine opener. When you're starting to cut down your wine and you limit it to 1 glass a day, that's when you go for. So 0.75 liters, 3 liters, 6 liters. You even need a different wine opener. That's a lot of wine. Your bottle. No, it's pulled out.
Oh. We got a beautiful bottle of white wine in the country of reds.
Kind of sacrilegious, but the white wine just tastes so good and it's so smooth. Now time to get the second part of dinner.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Oh no, slow down. I can just get out and walk.
So we are actually driving underneath the arch, which I showed earlier today, that was in Montepulciano, except James Bond drove the opposite direction. But we are going to drive underneath this arch. I mean, look at this. It's pretty cool. I had no intention to do this or drive through Siena, but here we are.
Thank God.
Thanks to Google Maps.
Oh my God.
We have the opportunity to stay in one of the most prestigious buildings in Siena, because there's no better way to complete the Siena experience than to stay in a piece of history. And you can too, because I'll link the Airbnb link below. So enough has been said, let's go check this place out. This apartment consists of 14 rooms, and 14 rooms, it's massive. It has walls fresco painted from the 1700s. It truly feels like you're staying the night in a museum. Nothing in this house is straight.
Why are you gay?
I mean, look at the floors, look at the walls. I mean, look straight that way. Nothing is straight in this house, which adds to the character, because keep in mind, this was built in the 1500s. Just to think, this was painted back in the 1700s, almost 400 years ago, and it's still on the wall. I don't know how old this newspaper is, but there's actually old newspaper on the brick itself. Wow, I didn't notice that the first time. I was gonna make a stupid joke about going into the door bricks, but that caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. Pizza, check. Wine, check.
The rainbow?
There's the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. One bottle of Ricasoli wine down in this view of Siena. I honestly, truly do not want the night to end. I should have bought the 6-liter bottle of wine, but we still have to feel good tomorrow to go explore Pienza. So let's go eat the pizza.
Get another bottle.
And go to sleep.
Get another bottle.
It doesn't get more La Dolce Vita than this. We started our next day enjoying a cup of coffee on the balcony of our beautiful historic apartment overlooking Siena. Today's agenda is to explore the UNESCO World Heritage Site Valdorcia, known for its medieval castles, ancient villages, gorgeous farmhouses, roads lined with cypress trees, and fabulous vineyards and olive groves. Our first stop is Pienza. We're at the infamous gladiator shooting spot, where Maximus walked through the cornfields. And that's why you don't drive down a road that says do not drive. I guess he wanted to get his Jeep in the gladiator shooting spot.
He's stuck,
Yeah, he's stuck. We're gonna try to get the drone back because there's quite a bit of rain heading this way, and it's kind of a muddy, steep road to walk down. So yeah, let's keep on going. Update 30 minutes later. Pienza actually has a very interesting history. It wasn't always known as Pienza. Originally it was called Corsignano, up until Pope Pius II decided to turn his birthplace into a utopian city, exemplifying principles and philosophies of classical times in the great Italian Renaissance. Thus, Pienza became the realization of a dream. Smells like someone cut the cheese, so I can smell it from outside. Pienza is also known for its pepperoni.
No!
Pienza is known for its pecorino cheese, which we had to go get a little bit. Time to get back on the road and go to one of the best viewpoints of Valdorce region, which lucky for us also doubles as our lunch destination.
Your favorite spot.
Favorite spot.
With a belly full of pecorino cheese, lamb shank, and eyes saturated with amazing views, it was time to get back on the road, check into our hotel before our final destination for this evening. As we approach sunset, we decide to stop somewhere unique and smell the roses. La Foce extends over the hills overlooking Valdorce. Not as nice as the Lamborghini we drove in. We start our third and final day in Tuscany with the lesser known activity that the region offers. And best part about it, it's free. Tuscany is a sulfurous land of ancient volcanoes, and it's rich in natural thermal springs with waters that regenerate both body and spirit. The natural spas have been frequently visited since the time of the Etruscan civilization. The first spa on our list is a lesser known spa, a local hidden gem, Bagni San Filippo Hot Springs. As you walk a little bit further into the woods, you're greeted with the smell of rotten eggs, and if you walk a little bit further, you'll see the giant calcium formation, which is named the White Whale. I could have made a lot of jokes off that last one, but I will keep it to myself. Don't slip. If you plan to come to these hot springs, be prepared to make a hike far into the forest so you can change, because there's no changing areas around here.
Unless you're smart to change beforehand.
Exactly, or change before you get all the way out here. Oh, slide. Whew, feels good. The hot water from the springs and the cold water from the river mix together to create a milky blue-white colored water that contrasts with the deep green of the forest, creates a fascinating setting. Bagni San Filippo Hot Springs is a great way to kill 2 hours, but be prepared for the crowds. We're here in late April. We got here around 10 in the morning and there was still a ton of people. So if you want the seclusion of the hot springs all to yourself, get here before the sun even rises and you'll have it all to yourself, would be my recommendation. Let's get back on the road and, sadly, leave Tuscany. Next on our list is the most famous hot springs in Tuscany. It is located in Saturnia, which gushes up in the middle of nowhere in one of the wildest parts of Tuscany. The rest of the day we'll be heading south for ultimately our next destination, but I decided to stop halfway and stay overnight in one last vineyard near a small town called Popoli. I don't even know if this is going to be doable.
Pay attention.
Maybe for like a little bicycle. And it wants me to take a ride.
It wants you to take a ride.
That's probably the most sketchiest road I've ever drove on. John, that's the turbo size you need on your Giulia. After some intense white-knuckle driving through the small town of Popoli, we finally made it to our final destination. And let me just start. With the drive from Tuscany to the Abruzzo region, the topography changes are insane. From Tuscany, you have the green, luscious rolling hills. To the Abruzzo region, you have giant mountains, snow-capped mountains, all staring around you from every direction. Also along the drive, every hill, every mountain had an old town built on top of the mountain, just glooming over you every mile of the drive. One thing that's crossed my mind this whole entire trip is how many Midwest neighborhoods have Tuscany references in it. Tuscan countryside, etc. Comparing Oklahoma to Tuscany is like comparing Rosie O'Donnell to Marilyn Monroe, or Ferrari to a Kia. You get the point. While I can say there are no comparisons between Oklahoma and Tuscany, that's not the point. The point is to create a metaphor of a piece of heaven, a piece of the sweet life, a piece of la dolce vita. So tomorrow, we're gonna sleep in a cave on stone beds. So if you guys like this video, please give it a like, comment below, subscribe for more, because you're not gonna wanna miss out on the next video. See you in the next one, guys.